Before we even get into the specifics of Beneath the Ink and Binks and all of that, I want to ask you a question I've been asking a lot of people. What is a digital book?
An incredible experience. The wave of the future, and the only way I read right now.
An experience. Love it. Do you want to have an answer as well? Or you want to say ditto?
I mean, I might as well. And thanks for all the warning with these questions.
I'm going to ask you, what is a digital book?
Okay, well, since I've thought about this for so long, a digital book to me is, it's just a book. And right now it's more portable, but I think it's a book that has unlimited potential, and that's what's really exciting for me.
Right, potential, and obviously the mobile factor and the experiential factor. And it's that experiential factor that you guys have been experimenting with. And your experiment is in some ways so like painfully simple. It makes it so elegant. It's such a beautiful little tweak on the reading experience, and it's a tweak that digital makes possible. So you're helping make true on the promise of digital. Digital allows these things to happen, and by doing EPUB only, you get great benefits, obviously, but you're not making true on that promise. You're not tweaking the experience even a little bit if you just do EPUB, in my opinion. But what you guys have done is allowed, well, you tell me what you've done.
Well, people tell us the best part about this is the choice and the subtlety.
Tell me how it works.
So Beneath the Ink allows you to put any content just beneath the words of a digital page. And I like to say that we can put anything there except for a scent. But if you'd like to have the smell of old book, we have a scratch and sniff for you. That's the only thing we can't put in a bank.
Is remarkable. Wow.
So, images,
so this comes with the book.
Right,
We're
right,
complete.
right. When we get to that point, we'll give you a call.
Marshall McLuhan talked about how the future of media would have haptic harmony, that there would be complete sensual harmony in the future. And we're almost, you kind of did it right now. This right here, Marshall, it happened. I love it.
Images,
I'm
text,
keep smelling this.
video, audio,
Right.
we do it all, but in a very subtle way that gives the reader a choice and the author an incredible tool to do it very quickly.
Right. So the way I'm going to ask you some like Cody questions maybe,
Please do.
but the way it is for the user experience is that you're cruising through your reading experience and you see what looks like a hyperlink. It's a word with an affordance. When you click that word, a number of things can happen. And what can happen when you choose that affordance?
So generally, you're gonna touch on the word or phrase, and you're gonna see what we call a split, and that's basically the page literally opening up. You're pushing the text down that's underneath, and from there you see more multimedia. You see, like Sherisse said, anything from images, audio, video files, and you can have an experience there. Or you can even have, that can be a character, and you can have a description of that character. There's really unlimited possibilities, and it's up to the author. Really with what media content they want to put underneath the page.
We're happy to show it if you want to take a look.
We'll give you some shots of it later. I want to see it happen, but I've seen it, and I'm happy. So the thing that makes me happy about it is obviously it isn't associated multimedia with the reading experience because you can kind of get that in other ways. But one thing is that it's curated, it's author generated, it's right there. You don't have to split and go because as soon as you leave a reading experience to go to the internet to look something up,
the magic's gone.
Yeah, and within minutes you're looking at like volcanoes from space. Or whatever it is you're into, puppies and it's shopping, all the anxiety. Right, you've lost the context of the art experience. So this keeps everything in the art experience, so you don't have to leave. And not only that, but it's so undisruptive that you just have a split. So it just opens up, and it's literally beneath the ink. And I dig that because it helps keep intact the metaphor of book as place, which is a very digital possible thing. Rather than book as object, it's a place where you can discover these experiences.
Absolutely, and we think that like when you are in a place, you want to have all of your furniture there with you, right? So you don't necessarily want to. Okay, if I want to take a nap, you don't want to go to the store and buy a bed, right? You want it to already be there. And one of the problems with the experience right now, when you have hyperlinks, is you can go to that YouTube page, but then you have to be on the internet and you have to be connected, right? With Beneath the Ink, all of it is built straight into the book. So all of those splits, when you open it, it's going to be there, and you can be guaranteed, even if you're sitting on the beach sipping a mimosa, it's going to be there, and it's right at your fingertips. Right.
So it's curated, it's author placed, and it's just in time. It's not at any other time. You don't waste any time getting to it.
We do. We're driven by the agile methodology, and so we test with consumers every single week. And one of the things that we found is the subtlety of how this changes their reading experience is what they like the most. They can always choose what they want to delve deeper into and what they don't want to. So they're always in control.
Right. Right, so there's choice as well. This is really, the reason I'm excited, I don't know if you've ever read my blog or the things I talk about at conferences and stuff, it's these are the things I talk about should have existed. And now you've messed up my whole MO. My whole thing was complaining curmudgeonly that no one's doing this stuff, and now you have. So now I need a new, so you hiring? Tell me from an author's side, of, how exciting was it to work with the possibility of having your storytelling have this sort of vertical dimension to it?
Yeah. I think because I'm writing in the historical fiction genre, it's a genre that really lends itself to more information because there's so many aspects of it that people don't necessarily know about. I mean, you know, who really knows a lot about the 16th century when they start reading a book? So it allowed me to add all these dimensions and layers that I felt were just going to completely enrich the whole story for readers. So it was actually really exciting to be able to sit back when we first had this discussion about what was possible, to sit back and start thinking about what I could put into the book. And that was just like mind-blowing. And I went, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this.
Yeah, the possibility. So that sitting back, did that become a different mapping process than your normal writing process where you had to map this out? Did you use some kind of like mental mapping, drawing techniques or something to figure out the deep dives in the story?
Yes, I really did. At that stage, the book was pretty much finished, you know, apart from the dreaded proofing and some other aspects of it. So it was an ability to look at it from... I did spreadsheets, for example, to work out how the flow of what we're calling binks would be, so that I wasn't sort of loading up one chapter and then nothing in another chapter. So it really had to have a flow and a thought process around it. And then, you know, there was some development along the way, you know, could we do? And what if we did? And so there was a lot of that too. You know, there's fabulous paintings of the characters that, you know, were contemporary paintings at the time, which you can, of course, access. So, you know, can we put them somewhere? You know, I'd love people to actually be able to see these characters from hundreds of years ago.
How many characters you have?
Okay, so there's a lot of characters in Mistress of France. It's set in the court of Renaissance France, and there were thousands and thousands of people in the court at the time, and they all kind of have to come in and out of the story. As an author, that's really hard, so you have to try to manage character numbers. So one of the really exciting things was when we developed character clouds, so that I actually knew that if you got lost as a reader, you tap on the character name and I'm telling you exactly who it is again. So you don't really lose your place anymore.
Right.
So there actually are 96 characters in the book. So that is quite a lot, but...
And this character cloud allows you to access it without flipping through anything or looking back. It's all instant, in the flow.
It's on the page. You don't leave the page. It's right there. It's in your sentence, and then you just see it and you keep moving.
Beautiful. So simple, too. That's what I was saying. Painfully simple idea, and it just changes everything. Thank you. You're very lucky to be one of the first authors working in this world.
Well, it was interesting too because we developed this rather serendipitous relationship at the outset, and so you know I was able to have like a creative advisory type role in there as well as to what authors need, how we would do something, how actually entering that many number of binks or characters needs flow. You know, all these questions we'd sort of shoot back towards each other and on Skype all the time. So
cool.
It's slightly, you know, a trans-Pacific issue because, you know, Australia across to here, but, you know, Skype just changes all of that, doesn't it?
Now, I hear in Australia they put strange things on their pizza. Is that true? What goes on pizza in Australia?
Yeah. Everything. Everything and anything will go on a pizza.
Really?
Yeah.
Like various fruits? I can't stand fruit on pizza.
Oh, no. Well, yes, pineapple. Pineapple and ham, one of the old favourites. But I have to say that we also have, particularly in Melbourne, we're very gourmet in Melbourne. It's sort of the eating capital of Australia.
Right.
So we do have some really very traditional Italian pizzas.
Okay, good.
So we have a huge influx of Italian migrants in the 1950s, I think. So we've got Italian restaurants everywhere. We all eat Italian.
The pizza's not safe.
No, actually, it is. In the right restaurants, it's
right. Okay. Very good. Well, you've heard it right here. The pizza is safe in Australia.